Hey, aloha. This is Uncle Willie. Another chapter of Homestead Adventures. This is part 3 of how we got our first homestead. So, April 2nd, we loaded up our 70-something Chevy Impala with everything that we had, man, plus our friend with a pickup truck. And my wife hadn't seen this place yet. We drove way out there, and then we'd come up to the end of the paved road, and we're looking way down into this river canyon. Let's see, it was 700, 2,200, it was like 1,500 feet down elevation. And I said to my wife, I said, "There's your new home." And she was stoked, you know? She was like, "All right, let's do it." So we went down there, man. And there were ruts like 3 feet deep in the road. It's a 3-mile dirt road with a 1-mile pretty straight, steep section. And there was ruts 2 and 3 feet deep. So you had to be really careful where I was driving this Impala. And we finally got down there. And it was this huge live oak tree. Underneath it was this corrugated tin 16 by 20 shed. I mentioned it, you know, no front to it, no windows. But when we were in Sacramento, they were tearing down these old houses, and we went over there and talked to the guys and salvaged a whole bunch of windows in the frames, you know, from the houses. They just pulled them out. So we had those down there. So I had windows to put in. But like there was no insulation, right? So somewhere we found a whole bunch of wall tiles, you know, I don't know, some kind of phony wood stuff. And we got a lot of newspaper and just wadded up newspaper, stuffed it in between the 2x4s for insulation. And part of it, we just tacked up cardboard, man. It was fine, you know, it wasn't updated, but it was insulated and it stopped the wind from coming through. And I put the windows in, man. Then, you know, we managed to plumb the spring from the spring box all the way down to the house. But here's the deal, man. It was like to run the pipe through the house into the sink that I put in the kitchen. I didn't have any way to drill a hole through the corrugated metal wall. So I'm thinking about it, you know, how am I going to get a hole in this wall, man? So I had a bright idea, you know, I got a fucking shotgun. So I took the 16-gauge shotgun, I put it where I wanted that hole for the pipe to be, and I just pulled the trigger. Boom! Blew a hole in the wall, you know? So I ran my pipe through there, everything's cool. But that's what I call creative problem solving. Using your imagination. Because that's what it takes to be a successful off-grid survivalist homesteader, man. You got to think outside of the box. Hell, you got to get out of the box. You know, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get out of the box that the rat race puts you in. In order to do that, you got to think out of the box. But you don't have to think out of the box if you just get out of the damn box to begin with. And use the God-given talents, creativity, and intelligence that the Creator gave us. That's what makes it possible to survive, man. Okay, there we go. Cogitate on that and have more fun. Aloha.